Welcome to this edition of Talented Universe on the 16th day of February in 2026. I would like to welcome my co-host today, early in the morning on the East Coast, at least in our opinions, right, Marcia?
Yes, but I am an early riser normally, so this is fine.
This is
Thank
fun,
you.
Yes, it is fun. But I would like to introduce our special guest today. And I will just warn everybody, she has only done one vertical so far, but she's done other stuff. So we're going to be talking about some of that stuff too. But Evie Day, how are you doing, Evie?
I'm good. It's 2 p.m. in England, and while it might be bright and sunny where you are, it's absolutely miserable and rainy where I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you didn't have all the snow I had 3 weeks ago. So
no, I'm very jealous.
And it's still outside, but yeah, that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I will just say, so you've done one vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know what they were before you went in to shoot, or were you totally stunned?
So when I first heard about them, Backstage and Mandy, the kind of more you can do it yourself as an actor, apply for jobs there. Mm-hmm. I saw so many of these kind of crazy titles that I'd never seen before, of, pregnant with my CEO's baby, or I'm in love with this bad boy. And I'm thinking, these are all kind of very similar, and they're all filming in Turkey, China. So I was really unaware, I would say. And then my agent tells me, I've got this vertical drama. And I'm like, okay, why not? I'm not, not going to do it. And then I got it. And yeah, as you say, it was an absolute massive shock, but in the best way.
Now, when you got home, this is the question I usually ask everybody. And Marcia's going, I know what he's going to ask. And you told people what you had just done. Mm. And you were shocked as it was to begin with. How did you, or did you not even tell them what it was and just say, oh, I just did a movie and that's it? Or did you say vertical and they gave you a funny look and then you had to try to explain it to them?
Yeah, I feel like the more you explain what something is, you get a really simplified, easy version. So even now, people go to me, what's vertical? And I go, well, it's just essentially horizontal TV, but vertical, which I guess, I think a lot of people were very confused at first. They didn't really understand the concept. And like a lot of people towards the beginning were a bit apprehensive, thinking, oh, why would you watch something on your phone and it be a minute long? But then when they watched mine, they were like, oh, it is just like TV. It's anything similar,
Yeah, I mean, and I found some people that have been on that have told us, they said some people didn't really understand what vertical and horizontal were.
Yeah.
And so, I thought that is really sad.
That's step one that you maybe need to discuss before.
Yes. Yeah. Have you taken TV 101? Or something like that.
Exactly.
But so I'll go ahead and go over to Marcia so she can have some fun first.
Yeah, yes, Michael knows I like to go in the Wayback Machine, which I have my little Wayback Machine here. I put a coin in the Wayback Machine. Yeah. So in UK, did you start off always wanting to be an actress, or where did that come from?
I'm kind of half an only child, I've got half siblings essentially. So I didn't grow up with them. And I think a big part of my childhood was kind of being quite bossy. And then like going into drama class, having these ideas and being like, wow, I can come up with these ideas that people don't want to do, and I can do all this. And I think from then I loved drama. I think my love for it changed when I didn't care so much about, making the choices and doing it my way, and actually learned that it's actually more just fun to be creative and not say no, but say yes. So yeah, literally from when I was 4 and I did a Saturday class every Saturday. And from then on said, I'm going to be an actor. My parents would constantly go, yeah, but what about plan B? And I would be like 10 and I go, there is no plan B. I'm going to be an actor. Yeah, it's definitely been from when I was very little.
Wow. That's interesting, because I know that you have done stage work a lot of stage work. You've done the Shakespeare. You've done um, when you decided to step onto that kind of stage and do complicated work like that, because you've done drama, you've done comedy. Um, where did you get your initial meat of your training from in order to
like do that? Yeah.
Mhm.
I went to a youth theatre when I was at secondary school because, I mean, drama, like in any school, it's a small part of a massive curriculum. And I knew that I wanted to do more. So I went to a youth theatre where there are a lot of people older than me. And they were kind of all talking about going to drama school and, who's applying for where. And I'd be like, what's drama school? And they say, oh, it's this like place where instead of, you're doing maths and science and all the boring subjects, in my opinion, you're just doing acting. And I had never heard of it before. So I applied to go at 16 to a place called ArtsEd, which is very much opposite side of London to me. And I went there at 16, traveled like an hour each day. And that's exactly where I trained for festival. And the world just opened up for me. I never knew there would be so many like-minded people, and that acting was such a big world. There are different methods, there are different playwrights, there are all these things that I had never heard of. And the training was really disciplined and full on, and it's exactly what I needed in that time to just kind of absorb as much as possible, so that when I came out of it, I felt as though, I'm ready to actually do this by myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of staying in the kind of Wayback Machine. I saw a clip of you. I love your comedy doing Chaos Theory.
Yes.
Where you were in the car.
Yeah.
And it turned into a little bit of a Star Wars moment.
With the lightsaber. Yeah.
So tell us about Chaos Theory.
Yeah, this was just after I left drama school, and I was just really keen. I had never done any stage, like on being on a set before. My only experience was in drama school, a few classes, maybe a term. So I really wanted to do some student short films because I thought they were a middle ground where we were both kind of learning. Me to be an actor on a set and for them to actually be a director or a producer. So I saw this Chaos Theory and I saw this character who was kind of like, no offense to her, the dumber version of me. She was very enthusiastic, bubbly, full of life, but very naive. And I read the script and there was a scene in the audition that I had to pretend to arrest a hamster. I didn't have a hamster, unfortunately, but I used my cat and I kind of tried to place him and make sure he stayed as I was like putting a gun to his head. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And it's really easy to act when you're kind of playing yourself. So that was really great for me to do that. And as you say, comedy, it's just so much fun. Getting to pretend to be in Star Wars in a car. It's just, not your usual Tuesday, is it?
And then I have to also say you had to fight with a big wad of gum for a little bit there too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I remember there's a bit where I jump on top of this guy and put him onto a mat on the floor. And I didn't know how they were going to do it. And this poor guy, he wasn't even an actor. He was just one of the friends who was there to help. And I was like, I'm really sorry. I am about to run at you at full speed and just chuck you on the floor. But yeah.
Pre-apology.
Give him a warning of what's about to come.
Speaking of jumping, I guess we should jump into your vertical, which we can talk about for a long time. Michael, did you want to take this? Okay.
Well, I'll take it at first. Okay. I just want to say, as we told you off screen, your American accent was wonderful.
Thank you.
I questioned myself if I thought that you were British when I first contacted you because of where your agent and everything was. And then I go, no, we've got other people that we know that they're British and their accent is very good.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm just going to say that. And then as soon as you came on, said, yeah, okay, British. Yeah, there we go.
That confirms
there we
it.
go.
Yeah.
But what was this? Since this was like this was your first vertical, Only one so far. Where was it filmed?
It was filmed kind of just outside of London in 3 different locations. There was 2 kind of manor-y estates and one a kind of wedding venue. Yeah. And there was in the manor, the first one we went to, there was a secret. It kind of felt like a secret. God, what are they called where you go and get married? Not a church.
A chapel.
A chapel, exactly. And it was kind of this Moroccan themed chapel, and it came out of nowhere, and it was absolutely perfect. Because spoiler, obviously, we get married. And God, just the place was stunning. There were horses outside. There was these gorgeous rooms that you got to stay in overnight, which was just
really,
yeah, that was a bonus. So yeah, it was really beautiful.
Well, that is good. Now, I kind of violated one of my rules, and someone in the chat room really wanted to come on air and ask you a question maybe and just say hi. Yeah. So I'm going to do that right now. So don't kill me, okay? I promise you won't kill me. Okay, here we go.
Hey, Evie.
Oh my God, Joey! Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, thanks. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I just wanted to ask you about your show. I'm a massive fan. I want to know about it.
You mean our show?
I mean our show, yeah.
Yeah, what's your question?
How was it? How was your co-star? He looks great.
He was awful, to be honest.
Was he?
See, that's what I was afraid of. Yeah.
I've heard bad things about him, actually. Yeah.
No, Joey was absolutely great. I mean, we had a great time, didn't we? I was just thinking about the horses, and in our spare time, the first time we met, we were kind of trying to have this awkward conversation, and we were sitting by the horses. And we were like, "Oh, this is great, isn't it? What a time to be alive."
Oh, it was great, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, it absolutely was. Yeah, I think it was really fun to do it with someone as well that I felt really trustworthy with. We were both kind of up for anything, feeling positive, just there to have a great time, which was just really fun.
Now, Evie, did you know anybody on set beforehand? Did you work with anybody before?
No, absolutely no one. I knew no one going in.
No one.
Yeah, it was terrifying, but very exciting. I met Joey actually at the costume checks a week before, and I remember I think I was trying on my wedding dress when you walked in, and it kind of felt like it was like, yeah, this is what we're getting married to next week.
Here we go. Was either that or the onesie? I can't remember.
Sorry?
Was either that or the onesie? I can't remember.
Or that absolutely.
The famous onesie, yes. We're back to Star Wars again.
There you go. There you go. Is there anything that both of you remember that you did together that either you totally got out of character or you just wanted to throw something at each other because they did something to you?
Ooh. I remember, I think it was the last day, the last shot we were doing. I'm pretty good at not breaking character, I would say, about myself. I can stay in it. And I can't remember, we had it was like the last shot we were doing, we had this notepad and we were pretending to write stuff down. And then I think Evie drew something which I won't repeat, I won't say.
I think we know because of her expression right now. So
yeah, we
can imagine.
No, I vividly remember that. You're so right. Yeah. It's the bit just towards in the classroom where we're secretly holding hands under the table. We're meant to
yes. Okay.
Yeah, that scene.
And I mean, yeah, at that point we were kind of willing to just do anything and have some fun with it. I do remember.
It was just that far in the process. It was such a long day.
Exactly.
You know what?
Went into fuck about, yeah.
Exactly.
But I remember there's one point when me and you, we talked about it in our interview before, that we had to improvise a few lines together just when they were panning away from us, and we were just spitting insults back and forth, and then suddenly it's the classic line of "Don't tell me what I have to do," and it was such a nice little moment, that a bit of improv, and it stayed in the series, which is so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kept in, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So
you're crossing your fingers and hoping it's there, but yeah.
Yeah, Marcia, do you have anything for both
Yeah,
of them?
I wanted to talk about your professor, because you both talked a little bit about what he added to
Mm.
the scenes in school.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, we awfully didn't remember his name last time. His name is Alex.
His name is
And
Alex, isn't it? Yeah.
kicking myself that we couldn't give him credibility where it was due. But he was absolutely great. I talked to him. We were both waiting outside the classroom to come in for the beginning of the scene. And I said to him, "Oh, how do you act a lot? Is this kind of a common thing for you?" He went, "Oh, this is very new for me. I've only been doing it for a few years." And then he goes in and absolutely aces it. I was just like, that's so unfair.
We were all floored by it as well.
Yeah.
He just his dialogue ends, and you can't tell because he just keeps going. And I'm convinced that he's written this down. He's just trying to milk his screen time. But he's just like, no, this just came off the dome. It was amazing.
Mm.
And really,
And
sorry.
I saw in the after scene credits, there were some
Yes.
bits.
Yeah, that's exactly the bit that he does his monologue, and it's just amazing. I was daydreaming, and then I look up and go, "Oh my god, this wasn't in the script. He's just doing it."
He's doing it.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I know what Marcia's going to ask? I'm going to let her ask that. Is there anything that you're going to remember forever from that set? Either the people or just a specific scene that you just will never forget, or the food or anything.
Oh, the food was good.
The food was brilliant. Every night
really
it was a different, just gorgeous cuisine. I remember trying to guess each time and I got it wrong every time. But for me, it was in the heat wave in London, and we filmed in May, and it was boiling, which was really difficult when you're in a massive onesie, but really lovely at the lunch and dinner times when everyone's relaxing, having a chat. And it felt like it, could have been Saltburn. It was in this manner, and the sun was shining, and everyone was just kind of sunbathing and having their lunch. And for me, that was just such a nice time, and something I always look back on, because it does just feel like a fever dream. It was just so memorable and wholesome, and it was really lovely just to get to know people as well.
Yeah, I think staying on the location we were filming at as well helped massively, because we would wrap on an evening and then we would just kind of all hang out.
Yeah.
Which you don't really get, especially on like these verticals where like everything is just so like quick. Like you just got to go in and then get straight back out. You don't really get the time to like talk to people outside of it. So when you do, it's a real treat because everyone's great.
Yeah, there was a whole games room in one of the places we stayed. So every night people would be playing pool, darts. It was just such a great time to meet people.
Well, that's good. Now, just so everyone knows, Joey is going to be with us tomorrow. So I'm going to let him go so he can now prepare for our interrogation.
I will prepare
tomorrow.
Thank you for letting me intrude.
Oh yeah, well I thought it might be fun, so
it was fun.
Yeah. See you tomorrow, Joey.
See you tomorrow. Love to see you as always, Evie.
You too.
Bye.
Tomorrow. Oh, that was lovely. That's such a nice surprise.
Well, I'm glad you were surprised and you liked it. That was.
Yeah.
I'm always worried sometimes when I do it. Say, "Ooh, I hope they like each other," but
Yeah, no, absolutely. Love Joey, absolutely.
But what going on? I'm just let Marcia go ahead, because I know what she's going to ask. So
you do well. Since this was your first vertical, did you take something, or were you gifted with something?
I knew it.
You know what? I actually haven't admitted this to anyone. I tried to take a bracelet. There was a best friend bracelet that I had with me and my two best friends in the show. And I did try to steal it. And then we were on the train back, and the costume designer goes, "Oh, Evie, you left the bracelet on." And I went, "Oh, I'm so silly. How did I do that?" God, here you go. And I was thinking, oh, for God's sake. I actually did save some pictures we had to take to put in Alice's bedroom. It was a photo of a selfie with me and Joey, and a selfie of me and my two best friends, Alice.
Oh, I remember. I think we saw those on the screen.
Yeah, and I got to keep them. So I've stuck them in my journal next to a page of how I wrote about the week. So that's really lovely that I get to look back, and it's like a physical memory of being there.
Mm.
Yeah. And this to me was almost a two character study where we got to know both of your characters so well. And we know that shooting verticals has to be quick, that it's you don't have a lot of time. And that's one reason why I was glad to see the fun clips at the end, because we could see that yes, you made some mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a really lovely thing to see. It's such a, I mean, as you say, it's so quick. You kind of forget those small things happened. You forget that, there were laughs in between. It was not just constant quick, quick, quick. So that was really nice to see all the memories again.
And was it shot in sequence according to the script, or did you have to hop around a bit?
Yeah, I think the second day we did a lot of the intimacy for me and Joey. So we were kind of, nice to meet you. Are you okay to kiss? It was very quick, but it was, not in order, but just mostly because of the locations we were at. The wedding location was in the first manor. So we had to kind of do those scenes first. And then I think the school, which is towards the beginning, is at the very end. So it kind of in a way was flipped over, which is quite fun that when you're at the beginning, you have all of that in your head of what happens next. Whereas at the beginning, you have no idea, what was going to happen. But yeah.
And that you well, it was 5 years later at the end. So, and you played very young, and it's so terrific. You can play such a range where you were totally believable as a student. And do you find that your ability to do that enhances the roles that you can take?
Yeah, it was really interesting watching it back. And I mean, even just your hair and makeup and costume changes your entire appearance. But I think a big thing for me was kind of changing my energy, which I think for me, I'm quite a high energy, on it constantly. And I knew that gave quite a young, innocent energy. So I knew that if I had to play older, I'd have to bring it down a lot into kind of a more mature, deeper rooted energy, kind of more grounded in a sense. So I think, especially for theatre, as you say, I do like to do theatre. It's really useful for that, because that's something where you're so physically watched and it's all about your physicality. It's really useful to know how to change your energy and physicality for different age ranges. I think for screen, it's definitely easier with hair and makeup and costume, but no, it's really useful to have it. And I think I'm still trying to work on it. As I'm getting older, I know I'm going to have to say goodbye to the teenage characters eventually. So learning to play a bit more of a mature character is definitely something I'm working on.
Yeah. And looking at the on-screen chemistry with you and Joey, that's so important in a piece like this. Is did you work at that off screen as well in preparation for scenes?
Yeah, we are often in the scenes that either we weren't the first day, Joey wasn't needed for the first half of the day because we were doing a lot of my single shots. That was kind of when I was kidnapped. So it was a lot of him just waiting around, bathing in the sunlight, and me doing these things. So then when in between takes, he'd be watching and we would just have these small chats. And that was really great because I knew the next day we were about to film quite a lot of intimacy. So it was really great to try and get to know him a bit outside of filming, especially, as I said, you kind of want to really be able to trust that person and feel as though you have a bit of a connection and at least know what they're like as a person. So that was really nice. And as we were saying, with the evenings and lunches, having that extra time really helped us find a similar vibe and energy for how we would play it, but also how we were as people.
And when Michael mentioned you mentioned your brilliant American accent, and everybody around you is speaking in your native accent.
Yeah.
Was that a bit of a challenge?
Yeah, one thing about me is I'm really like if I hear an accent, I'm really good at replicating it. I'm not as good at coming up by myself. So it was really hard hearing really posh British voices and then trying to do my American. It was almost as though I really had to learn my lines in that accent. I mean, obviously, but it would be really hard to kind of learn it and then apply the accent after, if that makes sense. I really had to kind of speak my lines out loud in the accent and make sure it sounded right and the rhythm even was right, because it's so different to how British people speak.
Is there a particular part of an American accent that's more challenging for you?
I find the word house really hard to say in American. House, like for some reason it's like the owl sound. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I find it really hard. I really I mean, since I was young, I was playing with Barbies and doing an American accent, pretending, you know. So maybe that's part of why I know it so well, because I've done it for so long. But I did this American accent course, and that was kind of 5 days of really going into the technicalities of where your mouth is, like where your tongue is placed, where your oral posture is. So that was really good and really useful, because it kind of shifts your entire vocabulary. So yeah, through that, I really learned what I find challenging and how I need to get over that for this as well. And I worked with a voice coach once or twice to just kind of hash out the things I'm going, that doesn't sound right to me. How is it meant to sound, you know?
And then American, well, the physicalness of being an American can be a bit different. So I noticed some of your gestures and your facial expressions were kind of really American.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my brother lives in America. He's sadly not in the industry. That would be very helpful. But so, I mean, I get to visit him a lot. So I did kind of use those experiences to really study what Americans are like, and especially Americans in British spaces. It's such a big, you really notice it. You know, you're sitting on the tube and you hear this American and you're like, wow, it's such a different even energy. So yeah, really trying to bring that kind of different, I keep saying the word energy, but it is that. It's something entirely different to what I'm usually like.
Michael, did you want to take it?
Yeah, I just got a question here, and they're saying, with comedy in mind, have you ever thought about possibly voice acting in a Japanese anime series, or perhaps an anime movie?
You know what? I absolutely love like Studio Ghibli, Japanese anime movies.
You heard that? She's a big fan of Ghibli.
Yeah.
So I absolutely would never say no. I'm really trying to get into voice acting. I'm gonna soon actually film a reel, because it's I get told I have quite a posh British voice, which can be quite good for, you know, clarity and whatnot in voice acting. So it's really something I want to get into, and God, to do a animation, any character, let alone in a Japanese animation, yeah, absolutely, I'd be extremely keen.
Well, just keep looking out for
stuff. There you go, studio. She's ready.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's ready. She's ready. So let me ask you, what part of the U.S. is your dad living in, if you care to say?
Is this my dad in the TV series, or
No,
it's
no,
my brother in real life?
Yeah, real life.
He lives in LA.
Oh,
I know. I actually went 2 weeks ago, which was.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous.
I was gonna say that was after the big rains they had, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the weather compared to here, you know, you get home from LA to London and it's just constant downpour. Very sobering.
Very different.
Very different. I mean, even the people, you know, there's such a luxury about LA, and you feel like you're kind of walking in La La Land constantly, which is great.
So how often do you get to LA then?
Honestly, not that frequently. Probably once every 3 or 4 years, which I guess
isn't much at all.
Yeah. It's a big of him coming to London, us going to LA. But no,
Okay.
it's always lovely to see it. We stayed in the canals in Venice, which is just such gorgeous scenery, amazing.
No, you just have something. Now, my last question.
Mhm.
I think I was asking. I was okay. It was my turn, Marcia. Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes get mixed up. Uh,
Mm.
where would you like to go to film next if you had the opportunity to go anywhere in the world, not just a vertical, or if it was some other dream role that you
Yeah.
want to play, and where would it be?
Can I give you two? Is that allowed?
Absolutely, I'll allow it.
Thank you. I think, well, I know White Lotus is filming in Italy or France, somewhere really lovely and hot and European. And I think that would be absolutely gorgeous. Just kind of like a holiday away in Europe. That is a dream. And then you're getting paid for it.
There you go. Mhm.
And then secondly, I think it would have to be kind of, I know this is broad, anywhere in Asia. I've never been to Asia at all.
So
And
China.
yeah, it could be China.
They film a lot of verticals in China. So
Yeah, I mean, anyway, Thailand, anywhere.
Thailand, Thailand's big.
Get
China's
that.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, anywhere in Asia, maybe for that Japanese voiceover work.
There you
That-
go. Or you
There
can
you
do that
go.
from there. But if you could travel, even better.
Exactly. Honestly, traveling is a big passion of mine. So any time I can go somewhere and explore somewhere different, I'm very keen.
Yeah. Okay. Here's her last thing. Ayuki girl, I think you would have very good in the movie Mary and the Witch's Flower. It's set in the north of Britain.
Ooh. I actually tried to recently learn a northern accent. It's not top notch, but it is good. I've never seen Mary and the Witch's Flower.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know what it's about, but again, I would also love to do a northern film. I really am keen on accents, and I really love to learn an accent, and to make that an entire character is completely different to who you are. So anything northern is, maybe if it's not as miserable as now, the weather, that would be lovely.
there you go. There you go. Marcia, your final round.
Okay. So to talk a little bit about your personal style, you get to wear a lot of costumes, and you got to wear a uniform a lot in the vertical. But what is Evie's personal style, your casual style?
You know what? I really think I always try to be boho chic, and it's just not happening, and I need to get over it because I'm not cool enough. I'm just too basic. So I think my actual style is sometimes baggy, a lot of kind of basic baggy jeans, and then style it up with a nice funky top or a interesting jumper. I like to keep it a little bit interesting.
Do you wear a lot of jewelry? You don't seem a little bit, maybe.
I'm really also trying to get into my gold jewelry. I just got some rings. I'm not wearing them right now, but I'm very into now rings, necklaces, earrings. I'm really boring, and I only wear trainers because I find any kind of heel incredibly uncomfortable. But again, I think I'm just trying to change my entire personality. I don't know why I'm trying all these different things, but yeah, I mean, trainers aren't the most appealing of shoes, so I'm trying to be a bit more trendy.
Yeah, I had to learn what trainers were. Those are like sneakers in American, right?
Like Nike trainers, something comfortable that you can run in or walk in.
Yeah, I do that too. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah, I mean, over style at the end of the day.
And in the UK, are reality shows as popular as they are here?
You know what? Love Island started in England, and I watched it when it kind of was the second series. So that's really big. Love Island is huge in the UK. For other reality, The Traitors, and I'm obsessed with The Traitors. I watch it every year. And they had the Celebrity Traitors recently, which was brilliant. And I think they're doing actually The Traitors West End they're making it into a theatre show of that reality. So I guess it will be very different because it's not real people in a real life situation. But yeah, I think reality TV is rather big here.
Yeah.
Maybe not as big as America.
Well, in America, it's huge. There's so many. The cooking shows and dancing shows. I think in England, it's Strictly Come Dancing. I got it.
Yes. Yes. Actually, to be honest, one of my dreams is to be on Strictly Come Dancing.
That's her question.
That's my question. Yeah, you anticipated my question.
Really?
I would, is what reality show would you be on if you had to pick?
It would be Strictly Come Dancing. My mum is a really big dancer. And she always says when she was pregnant with me, she was dancing all the time. And when I was younger, I danced a lot. I did a lot of ballet, tap, contemporary. So Strictly Come Dancing, if I ever made it, would absolutely, doing that intensive training, learning all that technique. It's just a great excuse to actually learn a different skill, essentially. Yeah,
I have watched some of Strictly Come Dancing. I started watching mainly because of Torval and Dean, the great ice dancers who were on the show. And what are some of your favorite people that you've seen on the show? Do you have some favorites?
Oh, I know George Clarkey was on it this year, and he everyone didn't think he was going to do very well, and he actually turned out to be really good. I remember the series that Ed Balls did it. He's a politician. And I mean, yeah, the amount of characters they got on there is great. And I think you can really see people who kind of, no offense, have that natural ability, and then some that have that challenge. But it's even more interesting to watch them go from really struggle to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I just to say, I also did apply for the Traitors last year. But they aren't interested.
Maybe the future is wide open for you.
Absolutely. You never know.
Yeah. And speaking of the future, you have some upcoming things maybe you might want to share with us?
I am doing a short film that's actually going to be also filmed in a vertical format. So technically I am doing another vertical, but not really. It's a short film called There Are Wolves Here Too. And I'll be filming that in summer, which is great. And that will be multi-format. So it will be shot in horizontal and vertical for the people who don't understand how verticals work. So that would be great. And from that on, it's kind of up in the air right now.
Well, that's interesting. Michael, I think that's the first I've heard of one being filmed.
I've heard a couple of others. They were just starting to do it.
That's a little brilliant, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's so you can make it a short film and also a series. Kind of, it's so adaptable.
Okay. Well, we will definitely look for those and see what you are, because I think fan reaction to your first vertical has been really positive, and people are looking forward to seeing what you're going to do next.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see what's to come.
Now, before we went on air, you said there was a fan that wrote you that said she couldn't be here live and she had a question. And what was that question she wanted to know?
They asked me if I was 5'6" or 5'7", because on the internet there is differing opinions on how tall I am. Should I break the news?
I think you must.
You must, yeah, just so they're happy that they were.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'm actually 5'6.5". I like to tell myself I'm 5'7" and tell other people because it's always, nicer to be taller. But I am 5'6.5". So maybe that's
split the difference.
Exactly. Probably why there's both reasons on there.
Some people round up, some people cut off.
Exactly. I've always wanted to be tall, so maybe that's kind of my insecurity coming through there.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm glad that we straightened that out so everybody knows. So you won't get that question again, maybe.
Boom! Now everyone knows 5'6.5" and counting.
Yes, there you go. But I'd like to thank everyone out in cyberspace that watched us live. Thank you very much. I wish more of you had posted questions, but we're used to that. Everybody is shy.
Yeah.
But And if you watch it later, please like and subscribe and follow us on our channels so you don't miss anything that's coming up on the network. We do have another vertical actor coming on in a couple hours. So that we're very excited about that. And that is going to be Kaylin Pelucio. So Kaylin's going to be on with us at, I got to remember what time. It's going to be noon on the East Coast, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So that's about a little over 2 hours from now. So hope to see you all there, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Evie. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.